Hi everybody, it's Christy from Crafty Christy's Creations, and today I have another fun craft project for you. We are going to be using our scraps of vinyl to make nail art just in time for Halloween. And as an added bonus, I am offering everybody a free SVG file to go along with this. And everything is already set up to be ready to cut out so you can have that fun nail art. So as you can see, I'm using scraps of my vinyl here, and I'm going to show you how to do this without using a picscan mat. We all know with the picscan, you would put your scraps on there, take a picture, send that to Silhouette, and then you would be able to position your designs on the scraps and it would work every time. But we don't all have a picscan mat, so I'm going to show you some little tricks on how to do this without one. So you can see my pieces, this one's very simple rectangular shape, this one's a little bit goofy, and this one is a little bit more rectangular as well, which is going to make it a lot easier that our shapes aren't completely wonky. I have each design set up to be a 1/2 inch tall, kind of measuring my nail, and I keep them short, so hopefully that'll be the right size for everybody else. Otherwise, take a ruler and measure from like the base of your nail or wherever you would want your sticker to start, and then kind of just measure to the tip and see how long that is, and then also see how wide it is. I've got about a 1/2 inch long and a 1/2 inch wide, so that's what I went ahead and made these. Now we all know SVG files, go ahead and measure, and then you can resize as you need. You know, like your pinky finger, you might need to resize those. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put my vinyl on my cut mat. So I'm going to position this on here so that my vinyl is going to line up on a nice square area. So I'm going to start with my nice rectangular piece. I've got my mat turned around here. So you can see here's my 1 by 1 inch area. And so I'm going to take my rectangular piece and I'm just going to start on that corner, and I'm just going to lay it down here. It's not completely cut straight, which is fine. But now I can see that from like the 1 to almost the 2 inch is going to be my black strip down to 7 inches. And then the next one I'm going to do, it's easier to do your rectangular pieces first. And I'm going to cut off this extra stuff just because that's going to make it a lot easier for us. And I'm going to do this across the top, and I'm going to start at a solid number. So I'm going to start at my 3 inch, and then I know it's going to go all the way across, and most of my pieces are going down past 1 inch tall, so that's good because we know that everything we're cutting is only going to be a 1/2 inch, so that'll be fine. And then I can go ahead and find another spot to put my white piece, and I'm going to start that one somewhere where I know that it'll be. So I'm going to start down here at the 7 inches. And I'm going to try to get that on there straight in the corner. And then I'll go all the way to the end. So now I know where things are sitting on my mat. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to situate everything on my screen while I'm getting this all situated. Okay, so I've got the file loaded up into Silhouette Studio, and the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and turn my media size to 12 by 12, and then I'm going to turn the transparency so that we can see the grid lines from underneath. That's going to help us line things up to match the vinyl that we put on our cutting mat. And now I'm just going to go ahead and lay my pieces where they need to be on the different color pieces of vinyl. So I know my black ones are going to be right here. So I can just go ahead and start layering these down the side. And I know that my black vinyl goes over to 2 inches and it goes down to about 7 inches down. So we can go ahead and just keep adding these. And then the next one is the orange. we know starts at 3 inches. So we can move these pumpkins over to fit on that scrap. And then the ghost will move down to the 7-inch mark, which is where we started our white vinyl. And we can also duplicate a couple of these designs by holding down the Alt or Option key and then clicking and dragging over to make multiples of the same design. And then let's go ahead and make another one of our little pumpkin face. And you can cut as many of these out as you want. And then once you've got them all ready, let's go over to our send panel and take a look at how everything's going to look. When you've got the send panel open, you can see we've got our red marks around all of our little pieces where it's going to cut out. And we're cutting this out of vinyl. I'm using Oracal, so I'm going to pick the standard vinyl silhouette Oracal 651. So we're using permanent adhesive vinyl for this. And now let's go ahead and get the mat set up, and then we can hit send. All right, we've got all of our vinyl laid out here on our mat, and we have everything set up in Silhouette Studio. We'll go ahead and load this in. And I'm using the ratchet blade, so we'll make sure we've got that on the correct setting, which should be 1. I've got that set correctly. And then just because we've got these in the right places, we've set them up correctly on Silhouette Studio, it's going to go ahead and cut those in those areas. So I'm going to go ahead and hit send, and it should start cutting here. And you can see it's cut everything in the correct spots. All right, everything is cut out, and I like to do a little test cut, a little test to make sure that it cut correctly. Even though I know these are the correct settings, I always like to check before I unload. You can see everything worked perfectly, so now I can go ahead and hit unload. And I can pull these off of here. I did not use all of the scraps, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut off the parts that I need, and then I'm gonna save the rest for another day. I'm gonna put that back on there. Okay, so let's cut off the parts that we're using. So here I'm just using this little piece. And then that way I'm still saving scraps. Okay, and now we can just peel all the big pieces of vinyl off of there. Okay, and now we're just gonna take the centers out. Nice and cut out and weeded, and now we're just gonna apply. So you can see these are pretty big. I've got a couple little scrap pieces of transfer paper that I'm gonna use here. So I painted my nails yesterday, so you wanna make sure that you have, they're nice and dry before you apply anything. And just using this transfer tape, picking up the design. You can still kind of see through it, which I like. It makes it easier. This part's not always easy to do. That ought to be good. And it may be easier just to put it on there without the transfer tape and just to like peel it off. Some of these ones that are easier, might be easier just to do it that way. And then you can just stick it right on your nail. So you can see I made these, they're gonna cover up my entire nail. You can obviously size them down smaller so that they don't do that. Just peeling and sticking them on there. So like something like this little pumpkin face might be easier just to use a little bit of transfer tape just to get it on there correctly. And then just trying to line it up. Might be easy just to like try to do the bottom. Line up the bottom first and then press up. And then there's that one. So this is a quick way you can use your scraps for some Halloween nail art. This one, press on there. Let's put this on there. Oh, I didn't really, let's just do BO. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. I have put a link in the description below for where you can pick up this free SVG file so you can make your own Halloween nail art. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future Crafty Christy's Creations tutorials. Until next time, with love, Crafty Christy.